Today I'm joined by a host, a podcast host, and he's rather good at it. Hikmat Wehbi, welcome to the show.
Luca, thank you so much for inviting me.
You kind of had to drop out of university, you had to sort of build yourself up. You got into photography through a competition which you ended up effectively winning.
I entered this big competition and I won the first prize.
That's amazing.
Yeah, my father was changing work. Things were not working well for him. And we didn't know that because he didn't show us. We lost our privacy long time ago, man.
Very true.
I swear, like no phone. I was going to a shoot.
So you're in a Saudi jail, right?
Yeah, it's like the airport kind of jail.
What if the guest is just talking shit constantly? Like, what do you do as a host?
Yeah, it happens a lot, but it's not, if you see something wrong, you have to talk about it. I don't talk a lot, but I express a lot. Yeah.
I'm waiting 2-3 seconds. Today's guest is Hikmat Wehbi. Hikmat is used to being on this side of the hosting chair, but for today, he joins as my guest. What started out as an incredible career in photography has expanded into Hikmat becoming a household name in the podcast world. With over 225 episodes recorded and more than 14 million views, Hikmat is someone that I look up to in this industry. His creative ability is clear to see. He is able to excel in the visual and in the sound. I'm really excited to hear his insights, particularly around being a great podcast host.
أنا حكمت وهبي. أي شخص حابب يطلع يحكي على السوشيال ميديا مرات بيكون خايف إنه أنا طب العالم رح تحبني، رح تحبك أنت بس ما تقارن حالك بأي حدا. طالما أنت معناتها أنت مميز ومختلف، وأي شيء مختلف وجينيون طبيعي وأصلي وحقيقي العالم رح تحبه وشو ما كان.
Hikmat Wehbi, welcome to the show.
Luca, thank you so much for inviting me.
It's so surreal. Honestly, we were talking off camera. It's so surreal having you on the show because you've been doing this much longer, much better than me for years. But here you are in my chair, right, in the hot seat, going from a host to a guest. How does it feel?
It feels not good.
You're not in control.
It doesn't feel good. You know, I'm very comfortable being the host and not the guest.
Yeah.
And now, but it's an experience.
It's weird.
Yeah,
it's a bit weird. We also talked about doing this in Arabic, but I told you my Arabic sucks. Your English is amazing, much better than mine. So if it's okay with you, we'll keep it in English.
It's okay. I'll do my best.
We can.
I'll do my best. I mean, my English is okay, but I express. You know, we living in Dubai.
Ana Mark.
We mix.
We mix it up.
I don't know. Like, I'm not good in English. I'm not good in Arabic now. You know, it's just like I'm good in mixing. So, and this bothers people a lot in the podcast, and I apologize for that. But this is how we roll. You know, in Dubai, and I'm trying. I mean, I'm doing translation. I'm explaining to people that when I speak English, it's like I can't find the word in Arabic, and vice versa also for the Arabic. So.
Do people really get annoyed with that?
Yeah, a lot, especially some region that they think, oh, we're speaking English because it's cool, or what do you think yourself, why you're speaking English? Yeah. Especially when you are mixing, you know? Yeah. They don't mind if you speak English all the time. Yeah. But once you mix it, they get annoyed.
So first thing I usually do on the shows, I ask my guest about the mug that they brought in. You've actually brought me 2 mugs. One mug I've already put on the mantelpiece, which is from your podcast, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and the second one is the one that you've got here. What's this all about?
This mugs I have, it's been given to me by a friend. She's a makeup artist.
It's a girl. I was going to ask you.
Yeah, she's a lovely girl. We traveled to Poland to do a project, a photography project. So I travel. I never took vacation in my life. I always take a vacation, but it has to be
work related somehow.
Work related or project related.
Okay.
So most of it is like, okay, let me go to a country, book some models, location.
As you do.
Yeah, and start shooting. And this is all my vacation. So I'm always busy.
What a horrible vacation that must be.
Exactly. So my Polish friend, she noticed that, like, they are so calm and so relaxed. Yeah. And I'm like super, like busy and booking, and I didn't enjoy like the trip as much as I enjoyed the work itself. So I was happy with the work and what we're doing. But she noticed that I eat fast and I like don't look at I didn't ask for, okay, let's go to this scenery place or this, touristic place. I never asked for that. It's like, what's the best background?
Yep.
Where's these models or agencies or stuff like that? And at the end of the trip, she gave me this mug.
Yeah.
And she said, Hikmat, take this mug and just give time for yourself. Drink coffee in the morning and think of yourself. And it really touched me. I said, thank you so much.
Well, I hope when you do drink that, you think about taking more time for yourself, reflecting like you're doing now. So again, thank you.
100%. Like every time I drink with this mug, I remember that.
Amazing. You've got obviously an amazing career in photography, and you started off in photography, and it sounds horrible going to all these amazing places with all these models and shooting on beautiful locations, but it wasn't always easy for you. You had you're a self-made man. You're someone who based on our conversation beforehand, you kind of had to drop out of university. You had to sort of build yourself up, and you got into photography through a competition which you ended up effectively winning, and that sort of changed your entire career. Can you give us a bit of an insight into that journey?
Yes, I started photography as a club in school, like with friends, and we used to have a dark room. Dark room is where you
I remember good old days. Yeah.
For some generation, they know it is when you develop the photos and into black and white. So it was fun. It was like more escape from the class, and we were doing that club, and so I like it, but I didn't fall in love with it. But there was a moment where my father took me to a photographer who had an office. It was like your home, something like that, with a lot of photos, a lot of magazines. And back then, I'm talking about there's no internet. It was only paper magazines and this. So I was looking into these magazines and the books and photography book. I was really, really, really inspired by the photography, how much really it is an art. And I said, this is what I want to do. And I started going to that photographer, disturbing him every day and teach me this, teach me that. But I didn't think that this would be a career, because I was like in the school, going to university. And so I was studying business. And it was an expensive university. My father was changing work and living different from one country to another, and things were not working well for him, very well.
Yeah.
And we didn't know that because he didn't show us. Like, we had cars, we had, a big home, everything, but things were terrible for him. So I was asking him, but Dad, I need my, the fees, what do you call it?
Yeah, school fees.
The university fees, they are asking, and I've been asking him, and he said, yeah, I'll give it to you. Don't worry, I'll give it to you. Don't worry. And I said, so I kept on asking, Dad, they're going to kick me off if you don't pay me the university. So he get me a check, but the check was not given from his name. It was from another person to the university.
Yeah.
And I knew that he's just like borrowed some money for that. And so I said, like, I don't need it. I just break the check and said, like, listen, I'm going to do photography and start my own. And
And you entered a competition, you won a competition in Lebanon, and from age of 19 onwards, give or take, you started taking...
Yeah.
You joined an advertising magazine, is that right?
Yes, that's true. So I needed to prove myself, because you need credits, you don't have the experience. It was a hobby, but I entered this big competition that they announced in Lebanon, and I was like shooting every day about the concept that they wanted me to shoot. It was about the environment, and I was like doing a lot of photos, and I won the first prize. And
that's amazing.
Yeah.
You were the best photographer in Lebanon. Love the branding, man. You got to get the branding in it.
I mean, this is what they said. And, so it gave me credibility. So you need that credibility, and I started working in the field. Yes.
I remember when I first launched the podcast, I needed the same thing. I needed credibility. So I was looking to see, who do I know who knew someone else. Otherwise, I'll just end up inviting people on the show who were my friends, or they don't have a strong online following, whatever the case is. Joelle Mardinian came on the show. She was my third guest, and I was like, okay, that's amazing, because we knew we had a mutual friend, and I felt at the time how important that was for me to feel that I had the credibility to want to go further and do more. So I can completely relate.
Yeah, 100%, Luca. But since you mentioned Joelle Mardinian, she's also the second person who came to my podcast when I started.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that's really amazing. I didn't know, like, it was 5 years ago, and I didn't know it was called a podcast. I was doing interviews.
Yeah.
And I said, Joelle, I need you to come because I'm doing interviews and it's Corona and there's no work. And And she said, yes, I'm coming. I would love to. And she came. She was like really very helpful, very, let's say, empowering, very encouraging. And it was great.
You know, she's the only, by the way, I'm not attacking you now. Okay. This is not an attack on you, but she's the only guest I've had on the show who brought a gift to my home. Isn't that great? Like
Yes.
it was, and if nothing else, I will always be appreciative to her, and I'm so glad that you and I have that same story with her, because we know how important that is to have someone to come on and to want to believe in you, to want to try and help you out, and I hope we pay it forward to other people in the future.
Okay, let me tell you one more thing.
Please do.
Because you can't compete with Joelle. She's really, you can't describe how amazing she is.
Yeah.
I've done exhibition, like photo exhibition. So I traveled to Prague, and I've gone there for 30 days.
Okay.
Done 12 shoots, 12 different shoots, 12 days of shoots.
Mm-hmm.
And I created this beautiful exhibition, black and white. Check the woman, I called it. Czech as in Czech Republic, or Check the woman.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah.
And that was the concept. It's really stunning images. Maybe I'll send you some. You can check it out. If you can put it in the podcast, would be great.
There we go.
It's a bit sexy, so.
First of all, I have to get Rash's approval, and then we'll see how it goes.
Okay. So and I've done an exhibition, DIFC.
Okay.
It was huge. There was around 500 people attended the exhibition. And the photos were for sale. They were fine art printed photos. That was like, I think, in 10 years ago.
Okay.
And Joelle Mardinian came and bought for $20,000 worth of photos. And it's still hanged in her villa now.
That's amazing. That's beautiful. Big shout out to Joelle. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Love the sport. I have lots of art that you can purchase, Joelle, if you want to come over. By the way, speaking of art, how do you find our AI created image of some of your, you know, this is basically your bio in some way or another.
I mean, I love the personal touch. I love everything you put. I mean, it talks about me very well.
What stands out for you? What really comes to mind?
Psychology, the shoes.
Yeah.
These shoes, the yellow shoes. Well, I love yellow because that's the logo of my company, and that's the T-shirt I was wearing when I was fighting. And then anyway, I love yellow.
Okay.
So I bought this yellow shoes because I was doing photo shoot for Christian Louboutin. So I wanted him to sign the shoes. So I have it there in my office.
Amazing.
I've done a shoot with Victoria's Secret. I can tell you something about Victoria's Secret. Yeah, and thanks. I mean, we are in Dubai. And
Dubai, the picture, but it didn't look like that when you first came here. I mean, you came to Dubai in 1997.
Exactly.
That's crazy. No one comes to Dubai in 1997, but you were here. What was it like?
My father pushed me to come here. I mean, it was like, at that time, it was horrible to me. You know, I just left the career that I started in Lebanon. You know, I was like becoming successful, famous, like a young guy, and looking, having all this opportunity, winning the award, and getting some jobs. And I was in Daily Star newspaper, starting to get known and doing. And then, hey, come to Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
I mean, I don't regret it now, but at that time it was like there's nothing.
And was there was there a Lebanese community in 1997?
I don't know. I mean, there was nothing. Nothing. I stayed 6 months on the sofa. I was depressed.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
Really?
I shouldn't laugh, but I'm just like, that's awful.
Yeah. Because I mean, you go down, you don't see like now a lot of you just
life,
see some
energy, vibrancy.
No, it was all like, let's say, governmental entities, some small shops like the laundry, and there's so many laundries, and a Kodak shop. And groceries. That are the three main shops.
Kodak, groceries, and laundry.
Yeah,
and
the photo shoots, because they do visas and I don't know, photos.
Okay.
Like Kodak, laundry, and grocery.
Wow. So you came in and you were basically the first photographer from an advertising retail kind of perspective. You kind of owned the market back then.
Yes.
But then, look, you've had an amazing career in photography, but a lot of people know you now because of what you've been doing on podcasting. I mean, you've been doing it for 5+ years. You got an award recently from YouTube, right? With your 5 years. You've done over 225 episodes, 40 million views, and growing. So how does it feel to now be known more potentially as a podcaster than a photographer?
Well, first, you know a lot, Luca. You study a lot more than me in the podcast. Thank you, thank you so much.
That's all I've got, mate. That's all I got. After that, it's all downhill.
Thank you so much. Let me tell you the transition, because I want to say, like, okay, I fell in love with photography. I reached a point where just like I was so much technical and so much knowing a lot, because I want to be the best.
You want to be
whatever.
the best.
Yeah. So all we have that.
Yeah.
Especially as a Lebanese, because you're leaving your country. There's war. There's a lot of corruption, and just once you leave your country, you just want to
maximize your opportunity.
Maximize the opportunity. Be the best. Prove yourself, because that's the only thing you will end up with. Like if you go back to your country having not achieving that, it's not enough.
Yeah.
So you go in your career with many different ambitions, many different also profession in a way. Like, so I was doing jewelry, I was doing like cars, fashion, advertising, a lot of but so technical.
Yeah.
But during my shoots, like one incident happened, changed my life completely into how I look at things. I was in Italy doing a photo shoot for an amazing, famous model, Italian model. I'll show you the photos also.
Did you ever date any of these models?
Say again?
Oh, by the way, I need to ask you this. Do you have a safe word? Before I go any further, do you have a safe word in mind? Usually I ask my guests for a safe word in case I have a question they don't answer. What's your safe word?
I was thinking, what would you say?
What would you say is the safe word? So that's your safe word. So now I ask you the question, did you ever date this model or any models?
Yes, any models, yes, but not this particular.
How many models have you dated?
Oh my God. I mean, this modeling thing, it's ruins your brain, to be honest. It was
because they're too attractive, they're too good looking?
No, it's not too, it's like what people think of you.
Okay.
It's like always people think of you that the woman you should be with is always a supermodel.
Yeah.
Because that's your
expectation.
That's the expectation. So they expect you to have that, and then you start to believe it.
Yeah.
That this is what I'm gonna get married with.
You have pressure almost to go down that.
Yeah. So like, I can't talk to. So, but at the end of the day, it's just like you want to be with the person you like, you feel.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how they look.
100%. 100%.
So, but this ruins your brain, and you start like really looking. She's not as good as the expectation.
All the models that you're taking that you see.
And what friends and people.
You.
So that ruins
sorry.
already.
I feel sorry for you a little bit, but not too much. So you're in Italy and you're doing this photo shoot. What's going on?
Yeah. So I prepared the whole photo shoot. The location. It was in Rome. And like Dolce & Gabbana dress, all these traditional Italian fashion makeup artists, big crew. And I was doing a big photo shoot there with a lot of equipment, taking shots and, So I took thousands of shots. But there was one shot where I was just sitting, I saw, and I took it with a phone, just click it's a story. I didn't mean it's like a shoot, or I didn't expect it to be amazing. And then after I looked at all the photos I've taken, I've seen that photo exactly tells the story which was there. And I will show you that photo. It's really amazing. And I was like, you know what? It's everything I'm doing technically, it doesn't really matter. What matters is the story behind the whole thing you're doing. What are you trying to tell? Because when we were young, and technically they say the photographer behind the lens, because he was the only person who knows technically what's happening, the exposure and the light and the lens and the focus, because back then the cameras there wasn't digital, so you don't know how the image is gonna look like. So you're the expert behind the lens. But nowadays, it doesn't matter. It's the photographer in front of the lens who is looking at the subject and looking at the story that's in front of him.
Very nice.
So this made me look more. It changed my mind into, or the way I look at things is more into storytelling, directing, because the most mistake photographers does, or DOP, is if they fell in love with techniques and cameras and lenses, which they tend to do that a lot.
They get attached to that,
Yes.
and they can't ever shift away into a new direction or evolve?
Yeah, I can immediately know if I watch a movie,
Yeah.
if it's directed by a DOP who was like a
What's DOP?
DOP is a director of photography.
Okay.
So if it's done like directed, because sometimes the DOPs start to be directors, but their background is photography. You can feel like, okay, he's falling in love with the lenses, with the angles, with the lights. It's nice.
More than the story.
More than the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what you wanted to shift into doing more podcasting.
Yes, that made me in my career to look more into the story, and then it carried on with the podcast the same way.
Right, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Look, I want to get. I've got 8 questions here. They're written on golf balls. Okay. I bet you never thought that you'd be going on a podcast reading questions off golf balls, but we have them here. I want you to take charge of the show. You're a host. All right. The show is yours. Take out a question each time, and let's read it out. Hi, everyone. I really hope you're enjoying the episode so far. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Throughout my career, I've met a lot of people that have anxiety when it comes to public speaking. If you're someone that has that anxiety or nervousness and has always wanted to be more confident in public speaking, but you're also not sure where to go or how to start, the good news is I might be able to help. I have 20 years experience working in corporate communication. I'm a former regional CEO, and I've helped to win over 80 different clients through new business pitches. With so many online trainings based on theory, I wanted to share what's helped me in the business world. I've launched my own training program called Master Pitch. The 7-module course covers everything you need to know, whether it's learning how to really understand the audience, how to deliver real impact, or how to effectively storytell. I've got it covered. With practical tips and real examples, you can immediately start turning that anxiety into confidence. Also, in a world of AI, there's never been a more important time to invest in your personal brand and in developing your public speaking. For more information, go to lucaallam.com or drop me an email at info@lucaallam.com. Right, let's get back to the episode.
I want to ask you a question. It's like, you have a podcast. I mean, creating these segments is very nice.
Okay.
Does it really help or change the dynamic of the talk, and how much it adds to a podcast in general?
So I have 3 staples, right? The mug is one, the safe word is another one, and the bag of questions is the last one. The mug is there because, you know, when someone first comes on your show, they might be the first 2-3 minutes a bit nervous, they're not quite themselves. So when they bring something from home, my idea was you bring something from your home, it's there to relax you, it's there to make you feel more comfortable. So whatever insights they can share from their mug is a nice, easy introduction into them opening up for more insights later on. So that's the idea of the mug. The safe word is just to protect my guests as much as they can, so they also feel MENA, they're not in bad hands. I'm not going to hurt them. I'm not going to try and do a Piers Morgan or whatever else and screw them up in some way. But it can be fun or it can be serious, and whatever safe word they give me will tell me also about them, and we can go into it. And the questions are, for me, the main focus of the show, because I want to get insights, and the insight for me will lead to an idea, which will lead to a result. Typically speaking, when you work in advertising, a good insight gives you a good campaign idea, will give you great business performance. Everybody has insights. Everybody has an individual or within their industry. So the bag helps me focus certain questions, irrespective of what they say or not, that I really want to learn from and what I hope my audience will want to learn. So they help me, but they help the guest also to channel their thoughts.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's
very structured.
That's why I did it. And also, sometimes you can be, it's a great question, by the way. Thank you. It also helps me with timekeeping as well, because what you don't want, look at that, you're getting I see what you did there. You got me talking while you're secretly reading and building the answer. You know what? No, I'm not going to answer.
All right.
Read out the question. What's the question?
Okay, well, first I have to do it
intellectually. I love the shades, by the way.
Because they have this prescription. Anyway.
Yeah.
Is picture worth 1,000 words, or does silence speaks louder?
Yeah. Is a picture worth 1,000 words, right? It's what they used to say there. Or does silence speak louder? Because you're obviously in photography and obviously you're a podcast.
I mean, it's a great question. It's a great question because it combines photography and it combines podcast. And it's tricky to answer it because it has 2 answers. In photography, yes, it speaks 1,000 words, and in podcast, definitely silent speaks a lot because the the facial, the eyes talks a lot in the podcast.
So when you're talking with someone on the show, right, you're hosting them, right? Let's say it's the other way around now, and a guest is on your show and they're not saying much, but you know they want to say something. Like their body is screaming that they want to say something. Their eyes, like you say, are saying, but they don't. What do you do as a host?
My strategy is I'm not controversial. I don't push. That's the first thing. So I respect a lot the guests, and but I have my ways to let them speak, and in without pushing them. But I give them that safe and see how much they can give. I don't think it's if they are not comfortable, I just don't push for it. I don't know if I answered you.
Do people really share what they really think on your show?
Yes, some of them, they share what they think of, and they share a lot. Sometimes the way they regret, and then we come and it's like, okay, let's remove that part.
The re-editing. And
yeah, re-editing. It happens sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, because I create an atmosphere that I let them talk. That's why I don't want to push artificially more. Okay, tell me more or something. No, I have already done my work to let them feel safe and talk, and express what they feel inside.
If you're, let's say, from a news perspective, okay, a picture of what's happening in a certain country, let's say Gaza, Lebanon, and you can see in that picture it paints 1,000 words, okay, but yet the media don't talk about it, for example. Which one is more powerful in the sense of the picture itself, or the fact that people aren't talking about the picture enough and they're sitting in silence?
See, I mean, nowadays they can fake the pictures as well. I mean,
but you know what I'm trying to say? Because you can see an image of something, it can be horrific.
Yes.
Really, really bad. But what's more horrific is the fact that people are seeing it and they're not talking about it.
Yeah, not talking about it.
You know what I mean?
That's horrible.
It is horrible.
Yeah, that's horrible. It's horrible to fake, also to fake which angle and what are you showing, and but once you have it, I mean, it's our responsibility to really talk about it. Yeah,
that's why for me silence will always speak. By the way, I've got a mini bag here in case you want to.
Okay,
you can reuse it. For me, silence will always speak louder, just because it's. I asked someone. I had Naila Twaini came on.
Mm-hmm.
I think she came on with you as well, and I asked her, what's a bigger crime when it comes to journalism, fake news or uncovered news? So the news that no one talks about. And my answer to that question, I'm not going to tell you what she said, watch the episode, but my answer to that was the uncovered news. That's a bigger crime. Because why do some people have the media attention and others don't? Why is one life more valuable than another? Sometimes I have guests come on my show and they don't want to share too much, which is their right, absolutely. But on certain subjects, it's easier to not say anything. It's easier to avoid. And that speaks louder about their personality than anything else.
Yeah, especially if they are in a position of power and it's their responsibility to say.
Yeah.
It's very important to, if you see something wrong, you have to talk about it. But not everyone have the courage. Not everyone looks at things the way they should be, the stories the way it should be told. Yeah. We always think politics. We always think about ourselves.
Okay, that was an easy question.
Yeah,
let's fire on. Got 7 more, my friend. The glasses are coming out.
This.
I love it. Just keep them. Just keep them on. You can.
All right. What is the biggest myth about podcasting and its harshest
truth? Yeah. What's the one thing about podcasting that people think is true but it isn't? And what's the hardest thing about podcasting?
I don't wanna like ruin the the dreams of so many, you know. Yeah. It's not easy. Yeah. People think it's easy.
That's what I want to hear.
People think it's you can be famous, you can make money out of it. It became like this because it's trending, but it's not easy. It's just it's a really like a long journey, and it's not for everybody. Yeah. Although I have my course and I teach everybody and I say to everyone, you should try, and everyone can do it, but not everyone can really consistently stay in that and take it as a career.
So what is the hardest thing about being a podcaster? Because there's so many different things, from the conceptualization of how is the show format going to look like, to how you get the guests on, to how you shoot, the content that you create, the post-production, the marketing, the promotion. It's all, I mean, there's so many different
all of this is are needed, but I don't think it's the hardest thing. I mean, it can improve by time. I would say the hardest thing is you need to maintain support and finance this for a longer time. You need to have your true to yourself. You need to be find exactly what you want to say, because you're gonna like you're gonna on the way you're gonna bust yourself, like find that you are faking it, you know.
Yeah. Do you have moments like that yourself?
Of doubts or of
doubts, faking it, trying to
faking it? No, I mean, I reached to a point where I don't have to fake it. Doubts, definitely. I mean, when I started, I was like all doubts, you know, from the beginning, what I'm doing. Because when I started, it was kind of like I didn't see anybody doing podcasts in the region here. I didn't know it was called a podcast. So I started and it boomed, kind of, you know, like my Instagram was 5,000 and then I was getting around 12,000 followers a day.
Wow.
And for like 6 months, that was the rhythm. So I was like...
How soon after, from when you started to launch, did that happen? Did you really start to take off?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it started like in 3-4 episodes.
So right from the beginning, you took off? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, it's not like that. Doesn't work that for a lot of people, but because maybe you were well known from a photography angle.
No, not really.
No?
I don't think so. I think it was so genuine because I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I was being myself.
Yeah.
I was interviewing people because I just want to talk to them.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was a podcast. I didn't know the rules. I don't have games. I don't have any... I'm sorry, no offense.
It's okay.
You know, it's just like I was just talking. And also people, they needed that type. Now it is available with you, with a lot of podcasters. It is there now. They get to know it. But for the first time, it was like, oh, we love that. We love that. We don't have much of that. We have interviews, we have TV, we have traditional media and question and answer. We have that, you know, program kind of feel. Yeah. So we didn't have that, and so they were relating a lot with it, and that was like kept me a lot of doubt, because like a lot of attention, and I'm like I'm a photographer, director. I'm not a podcaster.
But who is a podcast? What is it?
I don't know. Like
podcast, it's not it's something that you do out of passion, out of love, out of interest, it's not, you don't go up and go, you know what, I'm going to have a 9-to-5 job, I'm going to be a podcaster. It doesn't work like that.
See, 5 years ago, I didn't know there's something called a podcaster. This is what I'm saying is like, I was like not an interviewer, I was afraid from the traditional media kind of, you know, like, what are you doing? You're not from that background. But then I said, I don't have to be from that background. I mean, you mentioned Naila Twaini. When she came to my podcast, I was like, wow, that's really amazing, because she's from traditional media. Yeah. And then for her, like the daughter of Ghassan Twaini, Jubran Twaini, her father, she's like from a big history of traditional media, Al Nahar newspaper, and she comes to my podcast. I was like, for me, it's great. I had so many great people, but she was from the media, the old school media, and she came to my podcast. And when we met, she said, "I would love to come to your podcast." I was like, I'm flattered. I mean, thank you so much, because this means a lot, because I needed that credibility from the traditional media, because they saw, okay, so we're not competing here. I'm not competing with them. They're not competing.
They don't see it in the same space.
Yeah.
But ironically, that space is shifting, and it's increasingly becoming into this space in terms of where the audiences trust, because they trust the host. You build authenticity, you have vulnerability, and the audiences start to like that. I have to be honest with you. I grew up not in the region. So most of the people that come on my show, I don't know who they are. Joelle came, I don't know who she was. Naila came, didn't know who she was. Ricardo Kadam, for example, came. I had no idea who he was. So I have to do my research on every single guest, except for 1 or 2 come from the UK, where I grew up. They come here, then I can understand more. But it's been a struggle for me trying to adapt, create content in a region where I didn't come from it. So my dad is Lebanese. So there's part of me, I really want to feel fully Lebanese, but I don't speak the language and I never lived there. So I'm somehow a little bit disconnected. So when I'm speaking with guests, I always sometimes feel I can't always be my true self because I don't necessarily have the same culture that they have. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's one thing that I'm still trying to adapt to. Any advice?
No, but we have the same with other culture, that we don't have the same, let's say, common things with other. Like if I interview somebody also from UK, I would feel the same.
Do you have anyone from the UK on your show?
Yes, I've had athletes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
It
Did you have to do more research?
It was nice. Always the English is the hardest part, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like to find the right
Your English
words.
is great, man. Your English is great.
Yeah.
It's really good. I'm sure it's really good. Right, you ready for another ball?
Oh, okay. How many balls are there?
We got 8 in total.
Oh my God, that's a lot.
A lot of these games just keep on going, man. They keep
Okay.
on going.
Okay, so record an episode that changed opinions.
Yep.
Or record an episode that changes yours.
So when you're a host, so would you rather record an episode that changes people's opinions about a certain subject,
Mm-hmm.
or would you rather record an episode that changes your own opinion?
Definitely, I would ask for myself.
So changing your own opinion is more important.
It's not changing my own opinion. I want to ask to know more.
To know more, to
Yeah.
enrich it.
Yes.
Okay.
But if I want to change opinions, if there is something I find
Yeah.
for the audience, then that's what I meant. Is like changing opinions is like giving them something new and
Yeah.
maybe
more insights, more information.
insights. Yeah.
100%.
But when I ask, I really want to know. I really want to know the answers, and there's a lot of time I don't ask the questions before the episodes.
Yeah.
And sometimes we sit with the guests before we start recording, and they will start to tell me more about them and said, "Stop, please stop, don't tell me. I want everything on."
You want it to be organic, authentic, to be real, 100%. And you study psychology, right? You're a big fan of psychology. How much of that do you bring into every episode?
It's always there. It's a lot, and I feel like I mean, one day maybe I will be I will study and be a doctor, and I love it so much, and it's in my I used it in my life a lot, and it's always in my podcast, and they feel it. My guest feels it. It's just like you need to. It's very important to know how people feel from inside. What's their background? What's their childhood?
What's their motive?
What's their motive? So that's very important for me, more than just information and this.
So how good are you at reading people?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. How long does it take you to sort of get a good idea of somebody?
It depends where. I mean, if it's in my podcast, it would be pretty fast because they will be vulnerable in my podcast, kind of. So you kind of read more.
Have you ever had a guest come on and you've had a certain impression of them, and then by the end of the episode, it's completely changed?
Yes.
How often does that happen? Good and bad, by the way. You can have a great impression of them in the beginning, and then by the end of it, you're like, oh my God, and then vice versa. But it's a nice feeling when you have that. You see, within the power of 1 hour, however long the episode runs for, a person can really make a big impact and change your own opinion of who they are.
Yeah, there's a lot of fake people around there.
There's a lot.
And unfortunately, I can sense that. I try to. I can't play with these people, and definitely,
bullshit. Too much bullshit.
Yes, and definitely you would feel that the podcast was not the most successful one.
Hikmat, I had someone come on the episode. I'm not going to name names. They came in the front door. They were on their phone. They were on their phone the entire time. The minute they sat down in that chair, game face, completely different type of person.
And they are experts.
Completely different type of person. The minute the camera stopped, back on the phone, walked out the door.
Wow.
Didn't want to engage, didn't want to talk, didn't want to interact, didn't want to get to know. And I see, like, that's an extreme case, but I see it a lot. People talking about like topics at 35,000 feet. Who gives a shit? Honestly, who gives a shit if you're talking up here, if you're not getting into it? if you're not getting into the psychology of it or the insight of the industry that you're operating in, it's just all, there's no value in the content that you're creating. It's just wasted airtime, wasted electricity, waste of everything. You know what I mean? It really annoys me. And these people go about their daily lives and they enjoy, and it's okay. And they have millions, whether they're real or not, that's something else, but they have millions of followers who idolize them. And then when you get to meet them, they're like,
see, I find that a lot in the photography world, in the fashion world, in the influential or influencers world. That's a lot, and I hated it from the beginning. I hated that industry of fake PR. I don't want to mention the name, but just like these top magazines and the fake things around them, and some society. I was like in pain working with these people, really, because I can see how fake they are.
yeah,
And they know how to play it, because you mentioned like, okay, you have to be genuine. Sometimes they are good because they are not genuine, because they know how to play the
they
game.
can fake it. Unbelievable.
They can fake it, and people doesn't know that.
They start to become that person because they do it so often. It becomes second nature. You know what I mean?
Yes. And sometimes if you're not doing like them, you can't succeed, and you'll be like the haram, yani he's such a nice guy.
Yeah. God, I would love to compare names with you off camera. Let's do another question.
Yalla. The host or the guest, who plays the bigger role in the show's success? Okay,
Is it
that's
the host or the guest?
that's a big question. I would say, controversially, the host.
Why is it controversial?
Because you would think the guest, because I mean, all the credit to the guest, because they are the famous, they are the stars, they are the people who we are inviting. But if you don't put them in the right atmosphere, ask the right question, it's gonna be nothing. You're not gonna bring out the best out of them. So you can make a star. You can make a star of your podcast, not that star, like the show itself. I would say the host plays a bigger role. Am I? Can you see?
No, I can see.
through
You know, they
my
always
eyes?
say, if you leave it 2 or 3 seconds more, they might add more information.
Yes,
You know what I mean? So I did that with you.
I felt
You were doing nothing.
I
There's
felt
nothing going
it.
on.
I'm protected by that.
So what makes
sunglasses.
what makes a good host? If you're going to build a host, right? You go to AI, ChatGPT, whatever, and say, right, build me the perfect host. What are the ingredients that you need?
Yeah, well, what I learned, and when I say a host, I mean a podcaster.
Yeah.
Because there are big
I'm
differences.
with you.
Yeah. What I learned is like you really need to listen and think at the same time, which is hard. Because if you are listening, you're just thinking of what you are listening, but you need to think of other things as well. So it's like you listen very well. You park the next question in one parking because you have another one coming out of the guest. And this is what my technique is like.
And you may never get to that parking.
You might not, yeah, exactly. You might like, it
might go in a completely different road.
Because you're driving fast, so that parking will go away. And then you might like, okay, he will change the topic, go to another area, and then, okay, so you start parking these questions.
Yeah.
And you need a good memory because you don't want to interrupt, because you can always find the question immediately and interrupt. But no, I mean, the good host is like, you get the question, park it, get to another one, and listen. It's so hard to listen while you're really preparing for your next question.
So what if the host is, your guest, you're hosting now, you're the host. What if the guest is just talking shit constantly? And they're like, there's no point here. And they've been rambling on, and in your mind, you're thinking, what is the point you're trying to make? Like, what do you do as a host?
Yeah, it happens a lot, but it's not only talking shit. It's just like talking things that I don't agree with at all.
Oh, that's different. But I think you have a right as a host to challenge. If you don't agree with what they're saying, I think the host should challenge in a respectful way, of course, but don't let them just talk it on and on. That's what I would do, because I don't want it to be a monologue. But I'm more worried about when it's a monologue, it's just, there's no information, it's just blah. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you do when you've got a guest who is, you want more from them, but they're not willing to give you more, or they're just talking?
That's the hardest one, because and especially, and usually these guests are comedian.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
They wear sunglasses in the house.
No, because they are funny. Come on, man.
I'm just messing.
They are funny because they wear a character.
Yeah.
And if you take that character out of them and put them in the podcast,
Yes.
they usually not comfortable.
Yeah.
And they
Very
talk
true.
about things that you don't find, and people expect them to be funnier or better or something. And I'm not putting them in that environment where they can say jokes and this. Yeah, that's the hard.
I had a comedian on, and yeah, and it's tough when you have a comedian, like you said, because they start. By the way, being a comedian is very lonely. I don't know if you picked up on that vibe from a psychological aspect. Comedians go through a very lonely existence. They have to create their material. They might have people helping them. They go on stage. Their currency is basically laughter. They go home, and they try and live a normal life, but everything is geared towards getting people to like them, to laugh with them, to enjoy them.
Exactly.
And it's difficult. I've hosted a few comedians as late night kind of editions and stuff, and I see what they do backstage, and they all have different routines. But you can, at the end of the day, they want people to love them, to like them.
100%.
And and then when you peel it back like an onion, when you're talking to them, you're like, man, this is some deep shit, you know?
Yes, 100%. So they seek love through having a character that they might not really have it as an individual inside. You know, they have it for the people to seek love from, to have that validation from. Yeah. Which they wear that character, that mask, that it's funny and nice. So they are deep inside. They are sometimes sad. They don't like to express. So if you give them the opportunity to wear the mask, they will be amazing and funny. But if you remove that mask, you find them like really, it's hard. I'm not saying did I say they are bad? And they are not bad.
No,
but
it's different.
It's different. You don't expect them to talk a lot.
Yeah.
Did you run out of questions?
No, I have a lot, but I'm waiting for you to. I'm giving those 2-3 seconds.
That's 3 seconds. Okay.
Back to the balls, mate. Back to the balls.
Yeah, 1%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the question is: Saudi and UAE rank top 5 in podcast markets, yet advertisers invest less than 1%. Why?
Yeah, it's an awareness thing, you know.
Is it though?
It is. I mean, there's still there is a lot of. I mean, you are in the advertising industry.
Go for it.
So there is a lot of money spent on media that it's really not effective. But still, you see people are still doing TVCs, and I'm still producing a lot of TVCs. I don't want them to go, you know. I'm still making money out of these TVCs, but to be honest, they are not effective. Collaborating with influencers and real footage and storytelling is much more effective than spending millions of dollars on advertising. Traditional media advertising that it won't, give them back. And podcast is still a new media. The decision makers, they are not aware of that, the strength of that.
Okay, so it's an awareness issue. Could it be anything else?
It's still a new profession. It's still growing. It doesn't have enough numbers as well. You know, so it's both. It needs to grow. Still baby, new medium.
You have 67% of adults in Saudi Arabia are listening to podcasts. It's the highest percentage in any country in the world, including the US. So there's more adults listening in Saudi as a percentage than anywhere else. UAE. YouTube has 98% penetration. So 98% of people in this country are watching YouTube. When it comes to Gen Zers, how they listen to podcasts is actually now what they're watching it. So YouTube has now become the #1 platform for them to listen or watch content. So if you've got super high penetration of a media like YouTube, and you've got super high penetration of consumers in Saudi listening to podcasts, and by the way, UAE is ranked 3rd, I think, in the world. The audiences are there, and the media, the marketeers, they know that they've access to all the numbers. The guys will all. You don't think the Google guys, YouTube guys will talk about the numbers that they have? They will. They'll go and talk to them about it. Then you have the likes of Apple and Spotify, and they'll tell them about how many people are listening to podcasts, downloading every single day. I mean, I mean, for Christ's sakes, Joe Rogan's show was a single reason why Trump was pretty much elected in the US. Right? It was like his additional young voters that he had tapped into helped sort of push them over the line. So there is a lot of momentum when it comes to podcasting right now, specifically. But yet, when it comes to investments, it's 0.5% in MENA. It's nothing. Because I used to work in media, working on clients, I would see how they would typically put their budgets. And 75% of every dollar spent in MENA is going on digital. Okay, so 25 goes offline, 75% goes digital, generally speaking. Of that 75%, 80% is going on big techs, Instagram, right? The Googles, the YouTubes of this world, the TikToks, the Snaps, the X's. That leaves 20% for everything else. And podcasting is just competing with everybody else as well. So the audience numbers are there. Presidents have tapped into it, okay? Governments are tapping into it, but the advertisers haven't yet tapped into it. Is it just awareness?
I think it's awareness.
So what do we need to do? Because we're in the middle of this, right?
Yeah, because if you see Google, and you're already monetizing from YouTube, and seeing that ads are there because they have the numbers, and the advertiser doesn't know or doesn't ask where this should be. They said, okay, whoever is interested in cars, throw that in, and then they find, okay, there is a podcast about cars, and then let's put it in. So it is there, but for them to take that decision and say, I want to sponsor that episode or use that platform, it's still not there. Although I had a lot of opportunity it was self kind of initiative.
Yeah, you took the initiative.
Yeah, that I created, and I went to the client and I told them, this is my platform. This is what this is the numbers, and I was explaining not only from the numbers, like the value of it is how genuine the story can be, and where I can see your brand, being exposed in what type of also.
And integrated
credibility, positioning is not only numbers, and this is where podcast is really have better strength is in positioning and credibility and
100%.
Awareness story. Like I had the Estee Lauder breast cancer awareness. It was a big campaign. We did the campaign, the traditional campaign for Estee Lauder, and we filmed in a great environment. And we had 5 survivors who were influencers, survivors, doctor, and personalities, but they were survivors of breast cancer. And so we did this big campaign. They spent millions on the campaign, the traditional media, but then they came to my podcast, they told their story. And the podcast was much effective, much more story. People want to listen richer. They want to listen to them. They were telling their real story, genuinely how they fight the cancer and how they survived, and the story between a mother and her daughter. They both had cancers, and they were like, imagine that relation between them, and they were talking. So it was so strong, and it cost much less than a huge campaign. It's much more effective. But the company felt it, and they loved it, and they gave me another project with another genuine story, because they had as well. They had like, okay, so for any initiative, whether it's breast cancer or women empowerment, they go to my podcast because it tells that story very genuinely, without faking it. And they imagine all these brands that I told you, they didn't put a logo. They didn't put a product placement in my show. I respect that, and they respected my podcast, because they believe if it's about breast cancer awareness, we don't want to sell anything in that. We really want to spend the money
promoting the cause,
promoting the awareness.
Very nice. So where do you see the future of advertising and podcasting? What does that look like to you?
When we started, we said the traditional media and the podcast. I feel like traditional media is going towards the podcast slightly more. If you see, all TVs are doing podcasts nowadays. And podcasts are kind of going slightly towards like, okay, let's make a show, which is not good. This should stay here and this should stay here. But I believe as long as we still have our content to be genuine, this is not gonna stop. This is gonna continue to evolve and be stronger. It's gonna be filtered, and we're not gonna run out of stories. And as a human, the shapes might change, the way we film might change, but the human element and storytelling is gonna stay.
We hope so. We hope it's not going to be a bunch of AI also running the content and creating the content for an AI algorithm, because all humans are out of the equation. Why people listen is because they want that human connection, that emotion, that vulnerability. You got to be open. You got to be real. If AI starts to do that, right, without the human connection, but it's easier for brands to invest in and build, these AI personalities, then all of a sudden we're not only out of jobs, but we're losing our human identity.
100%. But you know what? It's gonna be amazing and beautiful in terms of look and feel. But you're gonna quickly be bored of it, because you're not gonna relate to it. It's not gonna touch you. So it's like any other AI. I mean, that's beautiful. It touches me because it has the story.
Yeah.
See, it's not about the technique. The technique did not like influence me as much as like you thinking of me here in that you told me something about me that thank you so much, but also it tells my story and it touches me. So it's not the technique of it.
Yeah, it's what's behind it. Why do you think people like you so much? Or in the sense of, why do they keep coming back to listen to you? So you mentioned authenticity, I know, but dig a bit deeper if you can. What is it that you think that you give people that makes them want to come back?
Okay, I want to say that I learned a lot from me being starting a podcast. I learned a lot about myself, and I was asking the same question. I wanted to know what they like about me, and what's my secret. I know my secret now maybe, but back then I didn't know. So, and I find something is that everyone has it. They have this sweet spot, hidden gem, or language, or body language, or sound, or thoughts, that everyone has it, but they don't know where it is. Where is the sweet spot of it? Where
the magic
of it. And once you be true to yourself and really also get the feedback from the people, you can find, okay, you know what, they like this part, and I know that that's me 100%. And if I keep it here, because sometimes you just like quickly start to want to fake it, and because you want to improve it, you don't mean to fake it, you want to just like be someone else, then you lose it, and then you come back to. So the more you said, don't say when you're true to yourself, but I think that's the main thing. If you're true to yourself and be who you are, know who you are first, and be who you are.
So you, it takes a lot for someone to really know themselves as well. Like as you get older, you tend to do a lot more inner reflection. I've done a lot of mental sort of wellness within myself as well. I've done a lot of healing, and you go on this journey of feeling more comfortable with who you are as a host. Do you feel that when you first started versus the person that you are now, you've become a different type of person, but a more solid, secure person based on who you are really inside?
You see, self-awareness is a journey that it's not gonna end. You're gonna always try to know who you are and what you want in life. It's a journey. I mean, people are lucky if they have more self-awareness when they are young, because someone gave them that chance, their parents, or helped them out and say, okay, tell me what you want, what you like. I'm not gonna tell you what you like. So this is not my case. So it was a journey. It's a long journey, and that's why you work double and you try to, get the love and achievement and attention and hard work, and because you're seeking for self-awareness, you're seeking exactly what I want in life. Yes, you tend to have like more and more knowledge about it, and that's the sweet spot, to be honest, that I was telling you about. Is when you know who you are.
And not to overstep.
Exactly, and play here.
You mentioned you never watch yourself back on videos. How come? You hate seeing yourself?
Yeah. Yes.
Because of what? What's
I criticize a lot, you know.
You're a perfectionist?
Yeah, I criticize a lot. I'm perfectionist. It's also self-confident, you can say it. I mean, it's like yeah, it's just like
I don't like watching myself either, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. But I did it, and I still do it from time to time, because you do. Like with any job, you start a new job, you wanna learn everything that you possibly can. You're like a sponge. You're absorbing. Whether you're 50 years old, 40 years old, it doesn't matter. If it's new to you, you need to try and everything to learn and your craft. So I'm still trying to learn everything, every aspect. Look, I feel much better as a host now versus 12 months ago. It's just normal. It's more experience. And you develop a stronger sense of who you are. But when I watch myself now, I have a much harsher criticism than I did when I first started. So my benchmark has increased. Does that make sense?
yes. See, the benchmark.
It's like the better you get, the more harder you are on yourself.
Yeah, you're harder, but you get more confident as well. Like, I mean, if you tell me 5 years ago you have an interview, I'll be like, you know, really shaking, you know.
Yeah.
So you become more comfortable, because also experience and times teach you a lot.
You're an experienced guy. Right, let's crack on. Let's do another ball. What leaves the bigger impact on the audience? The visual or the sound? What leaves the bigger impact on the audience? The visual or the sound? First there was a phrase.
I haven't experienced so much of the sound reaction of people.
Okay.
Everyone watch my podcast, to be honest. Majority.
So it's mainly visual. They're watching you.
Yes,
Okay.
majority. And I would
Okay.
say it's a big thing. I would believe that it's the visual as well.
Okay, but you're photographers. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You came from that.
Yeah, but also, you know, the face, the eyes,
Yeah.
it plays a big role in also expression.
So
I don't talk too much in my podcast, by the way. I talk here a lot. I don't know. I feel like awkward. I don't talk a lot, but I express a lot. Yeah.
I'm waiting 2-3 seconds. So someone helped design a logo. Okay, Luca's Inside Track, and then someone also helped design the sound, the sonic branding that goes with the logo.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked the sound engineer which one comes first, the logo or the sound, the jingle that goes behind it. He said, of course, this should be the sound.
Mm-hmm.
I asked the visual guy, of course, it's the visual.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at, because you're a photographer and you have a podcast, I feel like you're one of the most impartial people, right, when it comes to answering this. When you're creating a brand, are you thinking constantly what it looks like first before how it sounds?
Yes, as a photographer,
It's more powerful. But on an audience perspective, the power of a jingle can live in your mind, or like it's like da 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 da. You know what I mean?
Yes. I mean, you would remember sounds more.
Like they can stay with you for a much longer time, and from an audience perspective, it leaves a big impact.
Yes, I would say. See, Luca, I mean, the question can be answered both ways, as you said. I mean, always music is magic. It's you always remember music. In everything, pictures is also plays a big role in our life. You see a picture that it's silent but talks about war, talks about World War I or II. I mean, there's stunning images that talks history. Yeah. So it's both. I'm more visual. I take care a lot of telling story through my picture. Yeah. And I take details in everything, in the lens, in the color grading, and when I say color grading, it's not just a nice color. Yeah. What history, what film, what would you feel if you see that color? What does it remind you? I have some very special lenses that they are not very expensive. So when I say special, I mean special to me and to the certain
emotions that it brings.
Emotions and period of time. So I play with that because it tells also a story. But definitely the music is there, the sound is there. Yeah. Our voices tells the story as well.
As a host, protect the guest and play it safe, or push hard and win the audience approval?
The first one, protect the guest and play it safe. I wouldn't play it very safe. I would protect the guest and push him a little bit or her.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
Because you'll have some guests, they don't want to go there. So you have to make a decision pretty quickly as a host.
Yeah.
Am I going to go for them, or am I going to let them just have their...
Yeah. And I have the opposite. I have a situation where I didn't want to go there.
Okay.
And I find out like they all went all the way.
Did they?
Yes. And I was like, oh my God. But this is also because they told me we don't want to speak about this, about personal, about these things that I have in my life. And I said, okay, respect, we'll not speak about them. And I found out that they are speaking a lot. Oh, and that, by the way, that particular podcast went viral. And I was like, okay, do you want me
Can you say this one?
Salama.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she said she doesn't want to talk about.
And she ended up.
Yeah, her divorce and I said respect, and I'm not gonna talk about it. And then she started to talk.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, what do you want me to continue, dig deeper? I can't do that.
Yeah.
But she was emotional, and it was amazing. Maybe she felt like, see, and here where I put the atmosphere or the grounds that they feel they want to talk.
Yeah.
I don't push them, you know.
Do you sometimes think about what you need to create for the audience perspective to get an amazing reel that can go viral? Do you sometimes think about that? Or
Yeah. Sometimes, yes.
Do you set it up with like a question before, and then their answer is going to be, and then you like slam dunk it?
Not always.
Okay.
But with some, I have one reel. It reached 13 million views on Instagram, and this was, I don't want to say now. I can't say it's planned, but the whole thing was well done.
Because that's a skill as a host.
Yeah. Where
you can anticipate certain things. It's still real because you're playing off your guest. So you're asking them a question, they respond. You ask them another one, and you can understand. So it's just being a smart host, and that's why the best journalists in the world can ask leading questions or questions that get really good information out of someone.
Yeah.
So it's a skill set.
It's a skill, and it's very important to have a trust between you and the guest.
Yeah.
And me and that guest, we had a lot of trust, and we planned. I said, listen, let's do it the right way. Okay. So, I mean, we prepared everything.
I love that. All right, we've got one more. The advertising industry and AI. Do we like it? Do we love it? Or do we leave it? Advertising and AI.
Yeah.
Love, or leave?
I would love. I mean, love. I love AI. I can't now. I know. In advertising. So I'm not, when you say photography and this and that, I mean, it's fake, and I don't like that part of it. But I can't say that AI is not gonna help humanity. It's not gonna improve our life. Have you heard about that joint venture that happened between ChatGPT and
no, tell me.
And IO, the company, the designer of Apple. You haven't heard of it?
I haven't. Tell me. Because I'm sure I'm not the only one who hasn't. So tell our audience.
Okay, so forget his name, John something. He's the designer of Apple, the one who made the iPhone, the one who made the Mac, the iPod.
Okay.
He had a big team, and he left Apple, and he has a huge company. It's called IO, and ChatGPT. They bought the company for $6.5 billion. So it's a bunch of designers, around 50 people, and they decided they want to announce a new device that's gonna change the world, and they know what it is, and it's crazy. The rumors I heard about it, it's really crazy. So one of the rumors, which is, I'm not sure this is the one, but it sounds close to what they're gonna do is, and it's, they gonna do it after a year. So they already started manufacturing, so it's happening. It's gonna be a device that's a wearable. You're gonna wear a necklace, and this necklace is gonna have 5 cameras. It's gonna have ears, eyes everywhere, and it's gonna record 24 hours your life. So it's gonna record me and you here, and everywhere I go, when I drive, when I have a meeting and everything. So every time you want to ask ChatGPT about anything, they already know the story of your life and all your details, so they can give you an exact answer of everything.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel?
We lost our privacy long time ago, man.
Really?
Do you still feel like this phone is listening to us now?
It's very true.
Okay, so how do you feel about it?
Look, I think mankind has always pushed for the limits of everything. Every generation, they want to, whether it's going to the moon or whether it's creating internet or whatever the case is. So there's always the next thing. So I think we always have this thirst for it. Whether or not we should go out and achieve it, that's something else. If I asked you now, what was the happiest time of your life? If I asked most 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, what's the happiest time of their life? You might get some people who say they wished for simpler times. And I've heard that a lot. When there was no internet, when people, my kids, I've got 2 young kids, they play outside now because I used to play outside. They didn't have iPads. I didn't have iPads. So it was a simpler time that I miss sometimes. Now, that sounds counterintuitive because I'm trying to progress in new media with AI as well and all that kind of stuff. But I also think that us as humans, if we forget who we are as people and rely too much on outsourcing intelligence, outsourcing creativity and outsourcing emotions with wearables or whatever kind of functionality, we're starting to lose who we are as people. And that scares the hell out of me.
100%. It's crazy, but we're gonna do it anyway. The only thing is like we need to have like 2 kind of life, or you're gonna find people like, I don't want all this technology. I'm out. I'm gonna live my life simple as simple as they are, but they're gonna live like an easy, simple life. And this is usually what we do in our retirement. We just quit that. And we go to, like, my parents now are in the village with the chicken and
Mine too.
Yeah, I mean, they love it and it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a house in Beirut, beautiful house. They don't want to live there. They don't want technology anymore because khalas, they want to live in peace, connect with the nature.
Yeah. I had 10 days. I was in Mongolia, and we were doing it was my old job. We did a trek. We did a hike. We were riding horses, and there was because Mongolia, by the way, there's more animals than people, okay? It has less people per square kilometer than anywhere on the planet. There's no cell reception. There's no coverage. So if we wanted to make a phone call, we couldn't. So we were all disconnected for 8 or 9 days. And I can tell you, I have never felt more free and liberated than riding a horse, right, across Mongolian plains with zero connectivity. Best feeling, man. Best feeling.
I know. I had
Taking that detox is so important for us. I think we can't get too wrapped up in all this AI and tech development. It's so important to our jobs, making money, adapting and growing. But if we want to stay grounded, authentic, the minute you start outsourcing your emotions and your creativity to someone else or something.
I had that disconnection one time in my life.
It's nice, huh?
It was lovely, but when I was in jail.
What? Bombshell dropped. Please go on.
So I went to Saudi Arabia.
Of course you did.
Yeah, and I had my visa.
Okay.
All right. I know it's gonna shock you. So I had my visa, but it wasn't multiple, and I didn't know that. I thought
multiple. It wasn't a multiple entry.
Multiple entry.
Yeah.
It was like not expired. So it's not expired. I can go. And I checked in, and the girl, what do you say, in the check-in, she also was like, okay, you have a visa, and let's go. So I went to Saudi Arabia, and it's like, you don't have a visa. I said, no, I have a visa. He said, no, it's not multiple, it's 1 entry. Okay, so what's next? He said, you need to, we need to hold you and send you the next day. And it was like so lovely. I swear, like no phone. I was going to a
So you're in a Saudi jail, right?
Yeah, it's like the airport kind of jail or whatever they call it.
And you described it was so lovely.
It was so lovely because I wasn't happy at that moment. I was so busy. I was going to a photo shoot that is like really, I don't like it.
Yeah.
It was a hotel somewhere, and and it's like, I wish this gonna. I didn't feel good about it, And this happens, and they took everything from me. It's like no phone, no cameras, nothing. Go sleep. And I slept like peacefully. It was so nice. No signal, nothing. And
I think you're the first person I've ever spoken to.
I mean, it was only 12 hours, so it was
I love
nice.
it. I wish you told me that right at the beginning. I would have changed my entire narrative. Hikmat, usually how I end the show is I give my guests a blank ball, nothing on it. So you don't need your glasses. You can wear them if you like.
Okay.
It gets an opportunity for you to say anything that you want to say that you haven't, or ask anything that you want to ask.
I just want to say to everyone who haven't really discovered himself, have that chance to have self-awareness and know what they want, which we all didn't have that chance, but by hard work, you start to know who you are and what you want in life. And I would say that's for me is happiness, because I start to enjoy what I do, and what I do is like the things that I love to do. And I don't want to be more should be some more philosophical. I think it's I'm doing these courses about podcasts because, and most of them it's not technical. It's gonna be all about encouraging people to do podcasts. I encourage people to start this journey. Anyone, even like housewife or a single mom, anyone, just bring a camera, microphone, and start doing podcasts. It's something you will find that you are connecting with people, learning a lot from them, whether it's a guest or expressing yourself, getting feedback from people. You will improve as a person. And we were living in the best time, I would say, time where we are controlling the social media in a way, feeling that we have channels, TVs, and
it's all there for us.
Yes. So that's it for me.
Hikmat, it's been a pleasure having you, man. I know.
Thank you, man.
You're a host. You're an amazing host. You're an amazing guest. You yourself, which I absolutely love, and I sincerely wish you nothing but the very best in the future. Genuinely.
Thank you, Luca. Thank you so much, and I love your podcast. And go on.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. If you like mine or if you like Hikmat's, please like, subscribe, and share. And thank you so much for watching Luca's Inside Track.